Hi everyone, it's Stephanie, and I'm here to show the stamp sets I received from Lamika, Pink Bow Ties. I mentioned these in my previous video, and I received them Monday, and it's Wednesday now, so I did play with them the first night they arrived, but that was a busy day because the first remodel project, the door in our bedroom to our back patio, got put in. It took them twice as long as they said it would take, and that wasn't too bad. It's just that I had to I had to take the dogs out the front twice, and if it had been done in the amount of time they said it would have been done, I wouldn't have had to take them out at all. So we weren't really planning on taking the dogs out front to do, because we don't have an enclosed front yard. It's a townhouse, so we just have the gravel in the front. So in the back we have, a nice space for them. But I was hoping that Michael would be home to help me with taking them out the front starting Friday, when the tile guy's doing the back patio. But so we had it all planned out, and then the door took twice as long, and so I was home by myself with the dogs and trying to keep them calm, and also taking them out, and also being available for the contractor to answer any questions. And I think I missed a couple of details, so there was a couple of things we could have got done, but the door came out beautifully, and I will try to remember to put a photo of it here. But really this video is not supposed to be about that. So it's just a quick update on the remodel. I think I'm going to start doing weekly remodel vlogs, I think, so that it'll be easier, and I won't like sort of throw stories out there in different videos like I tend to do, and then I never come back and follow up or say this complete story. So that's a bad habit of mine. These are the really great stamp sets I got from Amika, and this is her original stamp set. It's called My Type, and it's sold out originally, and then she got a huge demand for it, so she brought it back again. And so I made sure I picked this up this time around because I did not want to miss out again. And it's this really great detailed typewriter, a really large paper in there, and some type sentiments, and then you could really put quite a bit more on that paper. So I think it's great. You could probably put all of that right on that paper. And then she came out with this new stamp set. It's called, oops, I'm sorry, Sorority. And she originally was hoping to put all of these wigs, hairstyles, and these two girls on this stamp set, but it just didn't work out that way. So they ended up being two different stamp sets, and I think, I think both of them are really great and have different applications, but can be used for almost any occasion or sentiment. So this one is called Sorority, and it has a lot to do with sorority and that type of thing, but I think it's very versatile because, you can use this image with the different wigs for just about any kind of card or, any kind of project. And then it has the Greek letters, which are great because you can also use those for different things. And then I used this on my first project, and this saying, and it says, "You will always stand out, but you will never stand alone." And I knew I really wanted to use that. Sisterhood is not a destination, but a journey. My line, sisters are better than yours, is obviously for sorority. The hashtag "You can't sit with us," which is very trendy and funny, and the little heart. And then she also added "happy" and "birthday" along with some phrases for sorority. But I think you can do a lot with this set, and I really liked the girls on here, and I will link to the video where she's talking about the stamp sets because she mentions the illustrator that she used for these girls and the wigs. And this one ended up, she separated out the images, the girl and the wigs, and this one ended up being called Kinky Girl, and I think that's really cute because not only can it be applied to the hair, but it can also be applied to like some private cards. But anyway, so there's this, this is the one I used on my card, and then I used the big hair, the afro, and then this is a really great bun hair up type style, and this is big hair don't care, slay them with your hair on your birthday, natural girl, in love with my hair, and then these hashtags, natural girl problems, product junkie, natural hair journey, I woke up like this, life is too short to have boring hair, beauty is being the best possible version of yourself on the inside and out. I think that's a really great one. So that's Kinky Girl set. The paper I used was crepe paper on trend, which I think is kind of fitting for the trendy stamps, but I used it because I knew there'd be a selection of animal print, and this is going to somebody that I know loves animal prints and that type of thing. So I used also the stripe paper, and then I didn't know I was going to use the oval, but I did. I have these oval matte, a set of oval matte metal die sets from My Favorite Things, and so I did, and this tag die is from a Lawn Fawn set, and I don't have it near me, or I do have it near me. It's from this Lawn Cuts, the Stitch journaling card. I don't know what the first word is. Large Stitch journaling card. I guess I didn't really need that. But anyway, so then I made it look like a little bit of a shadow, and then of course because this came over, I cut that off, and I think it looks fine cut off. Now these hearts, I really, really love these hearts, but they weren't originally part of the design, except that I had put the white paper onto the oval crooked, onto the matting oval crooked, and I not tore it, but bent the paper. And so I tried several different options to fill the space, and then I got really happy when I saw that I had these, I think it's called, they're Twine and Ink. I've already put them away. Puppy hearts, and that the colors match so well. So that I thought, since I was going to show off this card as the project I made with Lamika's stamps, I would put in a hint of gold for Lamika. And my coloring is not the greatest. I'm really happy with the way it came out, but the Letraset markers I used for the skin tone are really missing one mid-tone that I would have preferred to have. And her hair came out, I like it, but as you'll see, the technique I created to do it, not created, the technique that I did it with can also be used to make a better version if you reverse the colors. And I think that'll make sense in a moment. I hope. But anyway, so Lamika commented on it, and I called it the right technique, but I didn't really mean like the right technique, like everybody should do it this way, but the right technique for the look I was trying to achieve. So I told her I would add in a video how I did it. So here it is. I'm showing, this was originally what I played around with the night I got the stamps, and everything was great until I messed up the eye here. And then, so her hair looks like this. So it's very similar to the one on the card. Very, very similar. And just, the colors are a little bit brighter. And so then this is another version of the same hair technique. So that, and then these as well. So you can see that depending on how you do the technique, you can come up with much lighter or much darker options. So then I was messing around, and I reversed the colors and came up with this. And I do think this one might be more fitting or more accurate. Sorry, just ignore the skin tone on this one. These were my practice skin tones. Might be more accurate on this one because of the way the highlights are. So I'm going to show, I have stamped up some of these images, and I'm going to show how I do the technique. It's not really, I'm just going to show how I colored the hair. It's not really a technique. But I'm going to show it both ways. Okay, so we're going to hope it stays somewhat focused while I do this. And what I use is 3 shades of a brown gray in the Spectrum Noir. In my original versions, I started out with the mid-tone. So I'm going to start out with the BG7. And really all I did, and it was really just as a shortcut, and then to fill it in, I just am swirling some color. And I think I got lucky because this color happens to come out pretty thin, like thin strands. But and depending on how much white space, I'm doing really well at leaving a lot more white space than I had in some of these. Depending on the amount of white space you leave in your swirls is how the effect is going to be. Then I use this darkest one, my BG8. And I'm looking for the tip I want, which shouldn't be that hard. And then I went around the edge, and I did it in a swirl pattern, but quite frankly, you really don't. It really doesn't matter. You just want to kind of get a, border here, even along the headband, which is black. But even because I'm using a brown gray, the little bit of darker black shows up pretty well. Okay, so there's that. So then I just put, so then you can see that it's got a darker edge. And then I took my lightest color, BG6, and this is what I used to blend. So I'm going to tell you probably all of the colorists out there that know what they're doing are going to say, no, this is not the right technique. And I will apologize to all of you if this is not how I'm supposed to be using my pens, but this is just what I think works best for me. And so I'm going to try to pull that darker color as well, but as you'll see, there's going to be like a darker line, which it should blend though. So there we go, and that's pretty much it. But as you can see, it's always kind of a little different. And then of course it does have to dry. Okay, so now to do this one, this kind, which I think is going to be cuter, I'm going to start doing this technique. I just reversed it. So I'm going to take the BG8, and I am going to do my swirls. Okay, so then that's similar. That's the one I did originally, and then so that's similar to that one. And I hope the color's okay. And then there you can see the difference in the two. And this one obviously is much better highlights. So I think it's better. Okay, so apparently I was off camera and I noticed that while I was editing, so I'm doing this really quick again. So this is the technique for this one and this one, so your highlights are on the outer edge rather than the outer edge being darker, if that makes any sense, because honestly, it's just my preference, so whatever your preference would be. So I'm starting with my darkest color, which is the BG8, and I'm going through and making some really big swirls and trying to leave quite a wide border along the edge. And depending on my swirl technique, sometimes it's a lot better, sometimes it's not. Okay, I mean, not so good. And then I'm going to take my lightest color, my BG6, and go along the edges. Okay, and take BG7, and that's pretty much what I'm going to use to fill in the rest and blend the colors. And I'm going to go ahead and do that in a swirling motion to fill in as well. And I'm going to come out with that color into the light color. And if there's little tiny white spots, that's good too, because they can serve as additional highlight. That's pretty much it. There you go. So thanks so much for watching, and happy creating.